Hello, Kieran. This is Kieran Subberwal, who's our second person to agree to be interviewed for my increasingly ill-advised projects of interviewing musicians. So, tell us a bit about yourself, Kieran. Tell us a bit about who you are, your background, and your music. What sort of how you describe your music in general.
Yeah, well, good morning, Jake. Nice to see you. Thank you for having me on, brother. Yeah, my name's Kieran Subberwal. I'm in Brighton. I'm a music student at the minute. And I'm the lead singer and guitarist of a band called Habit. Um, yeah, which is a new venture for me because I've predominantly been a cover artist for the last decade. So now we're writing our own songs. We're finding our own sound. Um, I'd like to think we sort of take a lot of inspiration from Chris Cornell, Soundgarden, that sort of era, but then we're not quite as heavy as that. So maybe more the vocals,
Yeah.
Chris Cornell's vocals. And then, yeah, I love Jeff Buckley. I'm trying to channel my inner Prince as well at the minute. And it's a really interesting time because we're just trying to figure out where our sound lies. And every song that we make or write and then produce is by and large completely different from the last one.
Yeah, that can be really tricky, can't it? To try and sort of develop that identity as you go along. I think it can take a while. I mean, you hear some bands and like their first album sounds nothing like their fourth or something, and yeah, it's definitely. I'm just pleased you've got an inner Prince. You know, I've got no inner Prince at all. There's no funk in me. No, none, not even a little bit. No, which is a great, massive disappointment in my life.
All right, I'll dress you. If that's what it takes.
So well done.
Flamboyant, mate.
Well done, yeah. Now, I think you've sold yourself a little bit short there, just saying, oh, I was just a cover artist, because, yeah, you weren't. You know, we've done shows together and gigs together, and yeah, some of your original material is really, really very good, and I think it's going to be one of those, isn't it? Like your sort of solo, sort of more acousticy stuff that we're going to hear at the end of this interview. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. It's like the transitional phase. It was actually it was the second song that I wrote that didn't get chucked in the bin. So yeah, it's the band is actually in there. Tim and George. Tim's on drums. George is on bass. And yeah, so they are involved in that song, but it is more along the acoustic vein than the electric guitars.
Which will come in time. Which will come in time. So the reason why I've got you on here, because obviously I'm calling this whole channel thing Lincolnshire New Folk Movement, and it's because although you're in Brighton, you're studying down there, aren't you? You're sort of from this neck of the woods originally, up here in Lincolnshire. So if anybody's saying, why is Kieran on here? He's not even in Lincolnshire. He is. He's one of ours. I'm claiming him. Yeah. So tell us a bit about what you are doing down there in Brighton, what you're studying.
Yeah, so I'm studying vocals. So I'm at BIM Brighton, which actually I auditioned for back in 2012.
Really? That long ago?
Which doesn't seem as long ago as it was, surprisingly. I still think I'm in 2012, which kind of wish we were. But yeah, I was in the middle of doing a marketing degree in Manchester, pursuing the money, chasing the financial dream, my good friend. And it was halfway through and I was failing my exams. I wasn't enthused at all. And it was like, okay, well, what do I actually want to do rather than the safe or the easy way out? So I got as far as the audition process and then was like, let me finish this degree and then see where that takes me afterwards. So although I'm down here, I'm studying vocals. I'm in second year right now. Obviously, everything's online at the minute, but you make do. And yeah, it's been a real long way around thing for me, which I'm happy, which is where we've got to.
Yeah, it's because I remember talking to you about sort of, yeah, you did the marketing and then you were working abroad, weren't you? Where was that?
That was in Bahrain.
Yeah.
Me and my fiance, yeah.
And you were doing very well out there, weren't you?
Well, I was definitely putting on weight, so wherever the frozen food was going, it was working. Yeah, it was a great quality of life, man. But I think when it's not, it's not your passion, it's not what you want to be doing with your life. So
Yeah, I was really struck by that. I remember us chatting outside Cobbles, and you saying, "Yeah, I could just see this future ahead of me that was fine. It was okay, but it wasn't what I wanted. It
Horrified.
wasn't what I wanted."
Yeah, yeah, dude. There was a pool on the roof. Like, it's literally what I'd been striving for the previous decade. It was everything I wanted. But
Yeah.
then when I got there, I was like, "Is it everything I want?" Wait.
I,
Well
I,
remembered, though. Yeah.
oh yeah, no, I mean, I think it's quite an inspiring story that because a lot of musicians, we talk about, don't we? It's something we're driven to do, and I think you're a great example of that, and not just in sort of going, all right, well, I'm just going to do this, but going back and that restudying, taking it seriously, and I think there's a lot of lessons for people out of that. That yeah, it is a career choice. It can be that, but you have to treat it like a career, and in that. I was thinking there was something else you said to me the other day about 1,000 fans. Okay, so just want to talk me through what you mean by that.
Yeah. So one of my favorite things about BIM thus far is the masterclasses. So one of the main reasons I came to this city and this university was for the networking opportunities, and obviously growing yourself and your voice and everything, but also who you meet in the industry is just so invaluable. And if I knew you were going to ask me this, I would have looked her name up, but I can't remember her name. But yeah, there was this one lady, this one artist who came in. She talked about the 1,000 true fans, and she says, you want to take over the world. It's great. She actually said, well, first start with your hometown. Start with the people who know you, and make sure your material's up to scratch. But the whole 1,000 true fans thing was just about nurturing a fan base. And if you Yeah, because we were talking about 7 billion people in the world, and if you get 1,000 of them to buy an album and a T-shirt every year, which is 50 quid, you've got yourself 50 grand or something a year, and that's a good wage,
Yeah,
especially for solo artists, like ourselves, who maybe don't have the big teams, the outgoing, the tour buses, everything like that, and like Ed Sheeran rocking up with his loop pedal. Like, okay, that's your band. But yeah, I think for me it was a bit of an eye opener to the reality of where the money comes from in music, because it's all well and good saying this is passion, it's what I want to do. You serve the song, you serve the audience, but it's a harsh reality, when you've got food to put on the table and bills to be met. So yeah, that was the 1,000 true fans analogy from my.
yeah. I think it's a really good one. I think it's a sensible message, isn't it? Because I think there's always this idea of either you're super famous and you're playing in Wembley, or you haven't, or you're not successful. And I really think there's so much space in the middle there for just going, yeah, it's just sort of ticking along. Yeah, it's hard work, but it's worth it because it's what we enjoy doing. And thinking about that, yeah, how do you make a sustainable kind of product and things like that? So I thought it was really good.
Yeah, and it's that persistence. This is what I've learned in the last couple of years mainly. It's that persistence and how a lot of people see the success at the end. The viral video, the one of you singing in a pub on a piano, which got 10 million views or something. Well, that would be the dream. But a lot of people, for that one moment of glory, of viral fame, that takes 10 years of preparation and getting everything in the right places and learning the bits and everything. So what's going on behind the scenes is what I'm learning at the minute.
And what are your goals, sort of like for in say 10 years time? Would you feel like you're a success only if you're playing Wembley and like the Hollywood Bowl and all that kind of thing, or if you got sort of different ambitions? What would you like to say? Yeah, that's it. Then I know I'm kind of where I wanted to be.
Yeah, I want to play in space.
That's a good ambition. That's a really good ambition. Are you going to fill it though? It's a very big. It's a very big space. Yeah.
But it is a vacuum. So is it? You need to that much to fill it? I don't.
An infinite number of people, probably. Yeah. which is more than your 1,000 true fans. But I think you could do it, Kieran. I think that's a very sensible target to have for yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Jay.
Yeah.
I think I'd quite like to. I've got some goals. Everything's been pushed back. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for these last, well, looking to be 2 years. But yeah, the rough ones would be play some music and make some people happy. You know,
Yeah.
I can do that to 2 people. I can do that to 2,000 people. You can do that to 2 planets worth of Martians. You know, so.
I think that's a really good way of putting it. That's really actually what we want to do, isn't it? Just play some music and have some good times with some people. Yeah, yeah.
There's one person who enjoys it.
I know. I think. Well, sometimes I think that one person was me at that gig. Yeah, the one person who really enjoyed that was me. Everyone else kind of had to put up with it. Yeah, I had a good time. Woo! Nailed it, newbie. Yeah, thanks. And so, what are you working on now, music-wise?
I am songwriting up to my tits, so to speak.
How do you go about your songwriting? Is it lyrics first? Is it chords? Is it melody? What is it?
So I'm covering so much stuff like learning curves and stuff at the minute. Because initially I wanted to be a bit of a session musician. I love playing the sort of pub scene, the club scene, parties, everything like that. Because Wait, what am I trying to say? What was the question?
You've got bucket loads of charisma, I'll tell you. Yeah, so that live thing is, yeah, you're always absolutely fantastic. It's a nightmare playing with you, right? Because yeah, it's kind of like, hey, it's Kieran. It's like, oh my God, it's amazing. And I come on, and it's like, all right, yeah, thanks. Yeah, so yeah, you've got the live thing nailed. You've got the live thing nailed. But so working on the songwriting.
Yeah, so I've always been, ever since I was young, because I've played music since I was a wee bairn. And I've always been melody. I've always been sound, what sounds good, what harmony, the melody, everything coming together. And lyrics would always be a second thing for me. I'd know what the song was called. I'd get the general idea, but a lot of those hard-hitting lyrics, which, you know, in sort of Dylan and the earlier folk stuff and protest stuff, which was so important, it just went, for the longest time, went over my head. So now trying to balance that, like, because I still love writing beautiful harmonies and melodies. Whatever sounds good to me, I'm like, yeah, we'll keep that then. Until the boys are like, Kieran, we can't do that. I'm like, yes, we can. But yeah, so I'm learning how to do the lyrics. The melody definitely come first. And another analogy, because this has been the year of analogies for me. Just so much YouTube. It was something that Ed Sheeran said. I'm not sure where or when, but it was describing his songwriting or anyone's songwriting as an old tap. I don't know if you've heard this one. And you turn. If you haven't written in ages, you haven't written before, you turn the tap on, all this dirty water spurts out. It's like I remember having that in India once, and I went to like brush my teeth and it just coughed brown water at me. Once you get rid of the brown water, your pure water comes through. So I think that's what I'm trying to do at the minute. Get all these songs out of me so I can.
Yeah, it is work, isn't it? You've got to work quite hard at it. Because I've definitely had plenty of brown water in songs. You know, where you kind of think this is really good, and then you play it again the next day. And go, this is awful. Why did I think this was going to be all right? What am I doing? Yeah,
that's the whole. You're putting a bit of yourself out there. And whoever you were at the time, that's kind of where you were. You know.
Oh, they stay in the cupboards. They stay over there. Yeah, people don't see them. Yeah, I mean there is stuff out there, but yeah. So. Yeah, I think melody for me again is probably the key thing. Yeah, it's the thing that stays in my head, which I know is really different. I've been thinking a lot about rhythm recently, knowing that that's sort of a weaker area for me in writing songs. You know, like the drum patterns and thinking about things like that, and that kind of rhythm section is something I think I really want to work a bit more on, because you're never finished. You know, it's never going to go, yeah, that's it, I know how to write songs now, I'm done. Yeah, done. I'll just write some. Yeah. So right, I'm going to do some quick fire questions, and then I'm going to ask you to introduce a song. All right, you ready? There's only a few of them. Yeah. Okay. So city or countryside?
Countryside.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Marmite.
Yeah.
Really? What? What kind of answer is that to Marmite? Marmite's famously the thing, yes or no. You know, you can't go near with Marmite. All right, that's fine. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Take or leave it, you know.
Meh, Marmite. Okay. Right. What was your first pet's name? And what was it?
So I had a fish, or we had a fish, me and my younger sister. We had a couple we called Elvis and Diaper, which, you know, as kids, we called them that. But the first proper pet was a dog, an Airedale called Jasper, who will always have a special place in my heart.
Oh, peace to Jasper. Yeah. That was really good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for taking some time out to talk to us, Kieran. And best of luck with all the songwriting. Tell us the name of the band again.
Yeah, band's called Habit. Thank you very much for having me, Jake. It's been lovely to see your beautiful face.
It's really good to talk to you, actually. Yeah, it's been really good. So connecting even in these difficult times. So what's the song I'm going to play then? What's it called?
Yeah, it's called You Make Me Feel. And yeah, it was a song I wrote for my fiance. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Cheers.
Oh. Take care then, Kieran. Bye.
Bye.
Love me till the end of time. All I know is the smile on my face. It'll stay when you're not around. Someone let me to your body tonight, the beautiful sight of your long blonde flowing hair. Lost is how I be without you, but life is just perfect with you in my arms. Try to picture yourself inside with a fire burning so bright, and me by your side.